it seems that the woman is the one that grades your manhood. So if you don't have a sense of value for yourself, if you don't know what manhood is about, and you're confused about it, and your focus is on external parameters, in that level of the game, the woman is, in general, the validator, the one that gives you the grade. Now, for you, that's for the man who's in such a position, that's equivalent to life or death. If she fails you, you die, you have no value, you're destroyed. So, according to her moods, this is when you don't have a deeper understanding of self, power, manhood, life, and all those things, and everything is based on facade or external parameters, as I just said, she now enters and is going to grade you. But what is she grading you? Man? No man. Not enough man. This one, more man than this one. This one, more man than this one. This one, very small man. So small man, not even, oh, and then they laugh. Right? That very cliche scene of 2-3 women in, I don't know, some kind of castle in the court, and they're laughing, hee, right? Or in high school. And all they have to do is actually just giggle. Right? But that's a psychological strategy. It's not just a random giggle by a silly girl who's a ditz. No. She's unconscious, most likely. But that's a specific strategy to shoot. It's her arrow. She's shooting an arrow to your persona, to your so-called manhood, to you. And she's trying to like squish it so that she can trump you and take control or have power over you. We can say also that in a way she's testing you, but whatever. So when you don't have a sense of who you are and you don't understand manhood and power, and you don't understand the game, how people play, the different levels of game that they're playing, and that you determine where you stand and how you want to participate in this dance, because you don't know, then you're very influenceable by the world outside, you're very influenceable by women's opinion, you're very influenced by their psychological games, and their psychological games are, this is a simple example I said where she's laughing. No, it goes so much deeper than that. It's so deep, we're not getting into this right now, but you're subject to it. And like I said, just to wrap it up, this for you as a growing man, not even, because you could be a grown man and totally be under this influence. It means life or death. If you tell me I'm not a man, I'm talking about in that context, what happens to me? I'm crushed. First, it means I cannot survive. I can't make it in the world. I can't get laid. I'm going to live a life of envy and jealousy. It's going to destroy my heart. It's going to destroy my self-esteem, the idea of myself. Like literally, it's a destruction. To lose in battle against another man is less painful, in a way. Because it's okay between men, okay, we fight, you're stronger, and no, but she's the judge of manhood. So, and this I've noticed, this is a world of surface. Well, that's not really the world of surface. It's generalized, but we see this a lot at the surface. And very often what the woman wants to do and succeeds very well at doing is using that card of I will determine who's the man and put you to fight against you. I'm going to take man A and I'm going to put you to fight against man B. When I say this, people say, well, yeah, that's normal. I'm like, yes and no. It's become normal. But when man A and man B fight now to the death against one another, who's in command? So we have a woman who's controlling two, let's say they're gladiator type characters, very strong, courageous and all this. She's literally remote controlling both of these dudes to fight for her. and then the winner gets to have her. No, winner will not have her. Winner will have her until she puts another duel. So we'll say, well, this is how nature works and this is how it is. I'm like, that's what I thought. That's what most men think. But no, this is a con. Because here's what it does. Number one, it puts men against men. So this is your brother, and now you're at war with him. And this is what we see everywhere. Two men are always, they're at war. Yeah, but now if we were partners, the whole game would change. Wouldn't it? Because now you have power, I have power, we help each other grow in power, and then we associate, partner up. That means we've grown in power. So now we're in a position of massive amounts of resource and can technically decide what we want. Why should we fight? When you understand women, no, this is sensitive to say it like this. You're in a position of power, you can select. If you're a strong, confident man and you have abundance, you will not fight for girl A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, just whatever. This is in the surface reality. Or, no, it's not exactly surface reality, it's general. The world of animals. That would be fair. But like when we're living in this, it's very painful. It's a very hard experience. So those who are supposedly at the top feel so big and so strong. And as we say, the bigger they are, the harder they fall. So their crash is going to be, they'll never get over it for lifetimes. But something about it is just insane. The nature of it puts men against each other. So the brotherhood is hard to create. You can't trust another man because secretly or subtly, or actually not so subtly, he's always under the influence in his mind of some kind of imago woman, and he always has to prove to her, even if she's not there in his head, that he's more of a man than you. So you're confronted with very deranged men. Always tense, always nervous, always trying to prove something. And it's hard to create a fraternity, a place of socializing and bonding between men and create relationships of trust that allows you to build whatever you want. That's not the case. You wouldn't trust, quote unquote, your girlfriend next to that character. Why? Because he's trying to prove something. And of course, you can't necessarily, in this example, trust this woman who wants to put you off against him. She derives a certain joy from it. Well, obviously, like, let's zoom out for a second. If she's doing this, it's because she's not finding what she wants. She may not know what she wants. She may have no idea what she wants. She may not know who she is or how a woman works, what it is that she's deeply seeking. She may, in very rare circumstances, know it, but wants nothing to do with it because if she finds what she's looking for, she's in trouble because now she has to actually work. Big subject, we'll address it later. So she stays in that environment in a place of control. And you have these two cats now who are going to go at it one against the other. So what it points to is that something's missing and she's not finding what she's looking for. Otherwise, why would she waste her time trying to create sparks so that she can nourish herself? Do you see what I mean? At the end of the day, that's exactly what it is. Sometimes it's very, like in movies or like urbanized movies, very obvious, right? You gotta love that about urban culture. It's grotesque in the sense it's in your face. But if you look at the more sophisticated culture, and it's always there, but hidden, not so hidden, but it's like more ritualized, more covered up with all kinds of blah, 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 nonsense. But it's always what? Supposedly to prove the valor of a man. It's like, no, it's to entertain her. Also, it shows, it's all based on ego. Ego in the sense of look at me, look at me, look at me. External signs of power. So, okay, I understand that this is more or less how the world works. It's literally like the animals, but the human version. And I've said many times before, well, at a level, the human is an animal, but there's another potential in the human. And as long as that human doesn't discover that, he's always going to be miserable. He, she, they, humans are going to be unhappy because you're not really an animal. You have an animal body. So when we live like that, you're always in pain because no matter what, sooner or later you'll lose. And let us pretend that there's one who wins. There'll only be one. Michael Jordan. He's insanely obsessed because in his mind he's waiting for the day somebody dethrones him. So today, I don't know, let's say 20 years after his retirement, he's not at peace. Every day he has to work hard to maintain the image of his past self in the light of the new players who may dethrone him. So you realize you've reached the pinnacle of the pinnacle and you don't achieve peace. But what was the point of wanting to be quote unquote the best? The point of the inner animal is that I need to achieve greatness. I need to become the very best. So I need to be the strongest. Why? So I can protect myself so I have peace. I need to become the richest. Why? So I can afford anything I want so I can have peace. I need to be the most handsome. Why? So I can get, with all the other variables, a good, healthy, powerful woman so I can have a good progeny and be at peace. All of that is a quest for peace. But you never achieve it. So, what's the point? Defeats the purpose, doesn't it? Well, simple observation. Well, that's why. I need to, let's say you're obsessed with a girl. Why need her? So I can have peace. You don't really care about the girl. You're taken by something. I need to have her, so I stop being taken by her and I can have relief. I can prove to myself that I'm a man, that I'm more a man than him, more a man than him, more a man than him. I can prove to the other girls, to this ex-girl, to my mom girl, that I'm a superman. I can have a girl of that status, so I can rest in myself and have peace. Keywords here, so I can rest in myself and have peace. Okay, well, when we play this game, do you really achieve peace? Study people. I've played it myself to whatever degree I decided to play, or all the way to which I stopped, right? Did I achieve peace? I'm like, no, you never achieve peace. Yeah, but that's because you didn't reach the top. You didn't reach the top percent of top percent of top percent. Yeah, I'll give you that. But all I got to do is observe those who I've met or studied or looked into who are at that place, and they don't look at all at peace. And when you listen to them, like Michael Jordan as an example, these guys are generally very candid. They speak honestly, and they use very precise words. It's very clear. So what was the point? So what I'm trying to say is that in this so-called dynamic, it seems very much that the woman is not finding what she's really looking for, and at the same time, the man, no matter how much he wins, conquers, or so-called achieves, also doesn't find what he's really looking for. So it looks like something's flawed, something's missing. That's why I say humans are not animals. There's an animal component, but there's a whole other dimension. And until the human being activates that aspect, develops it, nurtures it, allows it to grow, and harmonizes it with the so-called animal body, that means nature, well, as you can see, there's no peace ever. So that's what I'm trying to say. Even the person who's at the very top, so that's what the men will complain about. It's like, well, even, for example, I don't want to use a common example because I don't want to disrespect nobody, but let's say, even if you're the conqueror of the world, your woman will cheat with a milkman. Because she's never satisfied, because you have everything, but the milkman has youth or freedom or whatever nonsense. He has milk. So that's kind of like what so-called Manuspherian language would say. And it's not that it would be false. In that world, yeah, because she's looking for diversion. She's always looking for something new. So even if you have everything, after a couple of weeks, yeah, she won't leave you for the milkman because that would lose status. It wouldn't be a good move. And maybe she won't necessarily go sleep with that dude because she'd lose status, if she's good at the social game. But her mind is wandering. And then we'll say, well, this is the woman's nature. She's, what's the word I'm looking for? Promiscuous. She's looking for entertainment. She's looking for the next high. I'm like, okay, well, if she's looking for the next high, it's because she hasn't found the best one, not the best one, the one that satisfies her. She hasn't found what she's looking for. It's rare that we think of it from this way. Well, yeah, women are like this and like this. I'm like, yeah, I totally understand. I've lived it myself. I've witnessed it. I was in relationships where that was happening in front of under my nose. I'm like, right? I've lived. I was the guy on the other side. Also, I've lived this. I know exactly what it feels like. I'm not denying that. I'm saying, well, doesn't that point that something's wrong? No, this is human nature. This is woman's nature, and then therefore the man, he has to like separate himself from this and just become the high value man. It's like, what's the result of all of this? I'll tell you. Everybody's on their guards. Everybody's going to be closed and protected. Now, okay, maybe this is you enjoy this, but I'm like, yeah, but there's a potential that you don't have access to, obviously. Something's not whole, something's missing. So that's what I'm trying to point at. What it is, we don't have to go into the details, but it's pretty obvious. And for you as a man, something is missing. That means your quest for kingship in the animal kingdom, your quest for animal kingship, right, doesn't satisfy you, no matter at what level you are. And on her side, the game doesn't satisfy her either, and you have two people who are unsatisfied. Add to this thousands of years, modern day technology and all these dopamine tools, and it's a mess. So point is, obviously, neither he or she are finding what they're really looking for. That is, once again, if they're honest. There's not enough honesty, in my opinion, going along. People are scared of it. Because, you see, let's say you consider what I'm saying. It's opening a whole world of questions, of unknowns, of exploration that are rarely done, versus, well, behaving like an animal. This is, everybody knows this. This has been going on for so long. But stop for a minute and look. It's not doing it for no one. So that's why I ask these questions, and these questions are intimidating because they point towards something that appears at this moment as a great unknown. Yeah, but we have to go there if we hope to harmonize ourselves, harmonize relationship. There has to be more to this than this animal behavior. What's the point of humans behaving like animals? Then we should be the doggy.